me cater to you. Let me cater to you. Let me cater to you. I wanna let you know, girl, that you live in I am what you do. I want me to reassure you, my life will be purpose without you. If I want it, I'm gonna ask you. Flying into you, challenge me for the better for you. Let me cater to you.
Hello everyone, and thank you for coming back to the channel Make It Make Sense. And we're going to be talking about, or really listening to, some clips from Kenya Moore's interview that she had with Angela Way Up, or Angie Yee Way Up. Yeah, I know y'all remember her from the Breakfast Club. She was the only female counterpart on that particular morning show or afternoon show or whatever show it was, okay? But she's blowing up in her own right, and that's very good for tonight. Okay, I just thought I'd rhyme a little bit, but those two YouTube channels that just flashed before your screen, make sure you go over there, subscribe, like, share, and comment. Okay, those are my two channels that I host, and I'm trying to get one of them to grow and get monetized. That's the Make It Make Sense one. So please go over there and subscribe to the channel, or both of the channels, if you haven't done so already. Everything on both platforms, the content is allegedly, okay? Everything is alleged. We don't know it to be straight fact, truth, or true, okay? We just go with it. We just showing the facts, shooting the shits, and having a great time doing it, okay? But let's try to make sense of this, I guess, interview she had done with the Jasmine brand and Angela Yee and Kenya Moore being present. Sometimes we can make it make sense, sometimes we cannot. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles. But let's get on into it. Angie Yee Way Up, that's her platform. She shares it with the Jasmine brand, which is a local. I think she's local here in Atlanta. She may not be, but she has her own magazine. Or is it a magazine, or is it just a, what do we call it? A newsletter type, informative entity, okay, for lack of a better word. All right, let's get on and see if we can get Kenya Moore pulled up here.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and Jasmine from the Jasmine brand is here. And you know who's here with us?
Yes.
It's Kenya Moore Hair Care.
Kenya Moore Hair Care.
Kenya Moore
Hair Care.
We had to do that.
Yeah. Almost forgot.
Exactly. Well, welcome, Kenya.
Thank you.
Your hair does look good, too.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I had some help today.
Okay.
It looks good.
And you're definitely channeling Barbie, but you, as always,
I did
the movie.
pink. I did pink yesterday, and then I just had this in my bag, so I was like, I'll just wear it. It's too big for me, though.
Let me see the
Look
nails.
at the nails. Show,
Yes,
no, your nails. No,
Oh,
your
mine?
nails.
Mine are not.
It's pink. That's pink and white. That's
pink
cute.
and white. Yeah, it's
That's
kind of
cute.
classic.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, you got a lot going on, lady. You know.
It's a lot.
Jasmine and I actually were talking about, we watch Real Housewives together.
Yes.
It's a tradition for us to
Yes.
watch Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Yes.
So we've been following your journey. We saw on the latest episode, it's just...
It's a lot. I have to say, I love this lady, her brand, her blog, everything. She's always there.
Yes.
You know, so
you.
I've always supported her from the beginning.
I appreciate that.
Because
Kenya.
sometimes
No,
people
for
be
sure.
some people be side-eyeing her. So it
I
just
got side-eyed yesterday. Yeah.
She's fair. I think you're fair. I've never read anything that was biased.
But it goes both. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
like, and also it's
Yeah.
not really me anymore. It used
Yeah,
to be,
you have a team
yes,
now.
I have a team, but yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I've interviewed
See,
you
when
many
you
times.
make money, you get to hire a team.
She's doing well.
Listen,
Okay, Kenya, so what are you trying to say? You're not making money on Kenya Moore Hair Care, Kenya Moore Products, Kenya Moore Hair Care, Kenya Moore Products. Okay, Kenya, watch what you say, because, you know, your team is kind of shaky. Because the only time I see you talking to your team is when you're fussing about something. But that's just one man. So you a one man and a one woman show. Ah, Kenya. But let's go back.
Yeah. Anyway, we watched the show.
so you
together.
watched last night. Okay, so It's Sunday night.
Yes.
Okay, Sunday night is Portugal.
Yes,
Yeah,
you guys are in
went to the
Portugal.
hospital.
Yes, that's when I fell. Yes.
Ooh, I want to ask you, how did you feel when you saw what Courtney had to say
That was
about karma? Because she tried to say that you.
Well, before we get to what Courtney had said about Kenya and something she really shouldn't have said on public TV, but you know, she's a newbie. She's trying to get her a spot up there. And I see she's trying to keep that man around that was the father of one of her children or her only child. And we know what you're trying to do, Courtney. You're trying to keep him around so you can get you a little solidified housewife seat on the franchise show. We see you. We see you. We'll call it out way ahead of time. But dang, I forgot what I was gonna say about Kenya. Kenya. Maybe it'll come back to me. Okay, let's go back to the blog.
Slipping and falling was karma.
yeah, that's unfortunate. So everything that's happened back.
Okay, now I remember what I was gonna say. Kenya, where you going with those little house slippers? They were not meant for you to be going around no Portugal when it was already wet. What made you come out with those slippers? I mean, they really look like the ones you would get from the Asian store. Well, not the Asian store, but you know, when you go get your pedicure done and they give you these little temporary shoes to, I guess, floss your way in and out real quickly. They were not meant to go on no bus ride to go tour some shop. Y'all were going to tour some market. You could have got a infection stepping on something out there. And girl, I'm like, that was dumb as hell, Kenya. That was dumb as hell. And I expected more from you. Okay, more from you being the sensible type that you are. But let's go back. Let's go back.
Bad in her life is karma.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Because even Drew was like, now
that's too far.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a daughter. I haven't done anything to you that would warrant you saying something like that to me. Like, I literally asked you to stop hitting me 100 times, and
We both looked at
you
each
know
other.
what I mean? I was just like, it's a
we're not
lot.
friends like that.
Like,
like-
it was just too much, and it was just her way. Like, she's very touchy, but then she's like, girl, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna need you to stop hitting me like that because it's becoming something else now. And then her words, like, so you guys see edited scenes, but then it becomes it was something. She hit me like at least 8 times.
You're like, all right, that's
No, it was a lot, and
Yeah.
it was a lot. But she's a strange one, you know. But I think saying things like that, she didn't even know if I was okay.
right.
I was in the ambulance on my way to the hospital. They made me go. I was like, I really not sure how I'm walking. So they made me go. And for her not to even know if I was okay and to say that just speaks to her character.
Yeah, and that was great. Candy went with you.
Yeah, Candy was there. That hospital was scary.
Especially when you're at another.
Well, Kenya, I don't think you know you out and about in another country, girl. So and you following too much. I mean, you getting too much stuff. You're not keeping your immune system up because when you were in Alabama, I think it was, you were down there for one of the colleges homecoming or something you were doing, girl. You got sick there, but we could tell you were sick before you even got up on that bus ride down there, and you just spoiled the whole trip because you don't know how to host nothing. We don't gave you too many opportunities. I think 2 times, and that was enough to try to host something that it didn't even come off. It's just terrible, Kenya. You're a terrible host when it comes to that. You need to but then you don't want to spend the money because you're frugal. I think you're a little bit more frugal than Candy is, okay? But anyway, yeah, Kenya, you got sick on the first thing, the the hosting you were doing. I don't forgot, like I said, it was Alabama. I didn't really care for the whole script that they were giving you there. And then you sit up here, and the weather was wet, damp, and just kind of ugly. And you come out there with them little Asian slippers that they wouldn't even wear, girl. Do right by yourself. You don't do right by nobody else. Do right by yourself, girl.
Country.
Yeah.
No, I went
Y'all
to
in the
2
hallway?
hospitals.
Y'all in the hallway?
I went to 2 hospitals. The first one was a public one. And it was like all these naked, like 90-year-old people naked and moaning. It was like Walking Dead. It was just like Walking Dead. And I was against the wall in the hallway. And then I was like, oh my God, I was just freaking out. And then someone that was working with us called the private hospital, and no one spoke English, not one person.
Oh, that's how you guys were in Portugal.
Yeah. And so then, but it was a hospital, like, you know. Then they took us to a private hospital, and it was like night and day.
Okay, thank goodness.
Yeah.
I had to go with one of my friends to the hospital out of the country, and it was a scary thing. They was rolling in bodies.
Oh,
we were in the waiting room,
like
and
a receiving hospital. It felt like that. I was like, if I don't get out of here, somebody's gonna bite me, and I'm not gonna be able to really walk out this.
Candy's such a good friend because she was a trooper. She said.
So you're telling me you got sent to the Poe Hospital? So they thought you were poor people, even though y'all had a film crew and all that kind of stuff. They didn't catch on. They didn't catch on in that Spaniard country, girl. Well, at least you had some other people thinking and looking out for your well being, and they got you to a more established, more up to date hospital where you could see some sunshine in the dimmest, darkest moment after you took that plunge down on your back and your hip and your buttocks. Okay, I get it. Got it good.
With you for a while.
Yeah,
not for the whole time. Not a while.
She was there the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was there. She would go out and, you know, report how things were going, but she was there. Yeah, Candy's always been a real.
I want to ask a question again about Courtney. Do you feel like there's pressure when you first come on the show to kind of, I don't know if
make an impact?
Yeah, like just over, you know.
You saw her first episode. It was like, girl, relax. Like, it's not that serious. That's not what we're looking for. And that's the problem with this show and the casting, I think, when we've been on so long.
Yeah.
The newbies come on and think that's what you're supposed to do. Create some fake drama, be over the top, and, you know, and that's going to go over well. But it didn't work out for her. She's not a housewife.
Right.
You know.
Okay, Kenya, now see, that's just taking a stab in the dark and trying to play pin the tail on the donkey, honey. Weren't you the one that came on twirling, Kenya Moore, fabulous, you know, twirling, fabulous, twirl. And you were new, and you were trying to turn up and turn out. You were trying to flirt with everybody's husband, especially Apollo. Yeah, girl, Nene took you under her wing, but you came out destitute yourself, almost damn poor, when you moved from California down here. So, yeah, you need to give the newbies a little bit more slack because your storyline would seem like it was a little manufactured as well, especially with that guy you said that you knew. And he turned down and went on every radio station here in Atlanta to debunk what you were saying. You remember Walter? You wanted to get married to Walter, and Walter was like, "Hold on, girl. We only had a agreement to play boyfriend and girlfriend. You done took it to another whole level." I mean, I think you used Matt. Poor Matt wasn't bright. He wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed. But I think he really genuinely started caring about you. But, you know, you had to bring out his bad side all the time. So yeah, Kenya, no, I ain't gonna let you slide with that one, baby girl. I ain't gonna let you slide. You were green-eyed, bushy tail when you came on here too, because you were trying to make ends meet with the different gigs you were getting, and they wasn't hitting that much in California. So you thought this was the new Hollywood down here in Atlanta. That's why I don't like none of y'all now. Y'all done came and disrupted our environment, bringing all of this stardom down here, making our prices go up, making the food prices go up, making the apartment or housing situation go up. I don't appreciate it. And then, goddamn it, all of that to be said is enough. But then you brought the traffic. Okay, and I'm not just saying you can. You're talking about the other Hollywood wannabes that don't make it up there in Hollywood. Now y'all got to come to Georgia and bring all y'all mess because y'all ain't, what do you call it, born and bred here. You're surely not. You spend 3 or 4 years here and you think you're an Atlantean. No, that ain't how it go. Then if we took a poll or a survey, we can pretty sure pinpoint a good, or what do you call it, over extra amount of people that had actually moved here, spanning a time frame of 10 to 5 years have been here. Because you but you came from somewhere else, some other country, some other state, okay? Making our livelihoods be inflated and our paycheck can't keep up with the inflation that the North is coming down to the South trying to bring. Now, where were y'all about 40, 50 years ago when we were fighting for civil rights? Where the hell y'all ran to the North? You should have stayed your ass up there to the North and just visit us. But okay, I get off my pity party. I'm moving on. Let's go back to the interview.
So I just think that it's a problem because, you know, we have these fans that have watched so long, and they think they know the formula, but the formula is really just being yourself. If you have an authentic issue with someone, let that be what it is. But don't sit there and amp it up and say, I heard you were talking about me. You said you didn't know me. And then the next thing is like, well, I said, and now you're bucking up and doing your head, like headbutting people and like cursing and like, I'm not from the ghetto, but I would beat y'all. I'm like, I was like, oh yeah, this.
But
this
Kenya is a naturally funny person too. Like, you're just naturally funny.
Yeah.
But I think it probably took a minute for you to also find your groove, right? Because sometimes you have to get used to the cameras being around.
I was used to cameras, like, because I came from
not reality cameras though.
No, that's a whole different thing. I mean, you forget that they're there after a while. You really do forget.
That's what's scary, I'm sure.
It is scary because it's like, oh, what did I say? Oh, what did I do? Oh, what did I show? You know, so you have your guard up a little bit. But I think what makes people successful on the show is when they're authentic.
Right.
When I came on, I was just a mess because I was a mess. I wasn't trying to be a mess.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, I'm dating this dude, this a loser, this one over here. I'm having issues with my mom. I'm having issues with wanting a family. I'm making wrong decisions. I'm over here just doing stuff that's just like, oh, this is crazy. But it wasn't anything I premeditated. It wasn't anything that.
Well, Ken, I think you premeditated a little bit of it, okay? Because you had to have some storylines because the producers were in y'all ear that, y'all got to be excited. Y'all can be bored because anybody don't watch no boring show. So y'all need to amp it up. I don't know how to tell you how to amp it up, but y'all need to look deep, dig deep into your personal lives and see what you can give us that's entertaining. And, Kenya know her mama didn't mess with her. Kenya know her mama didn't mess with her in no shape, form, or fashion, but she had to try to push that narrative. Then she had to see which part of her family member she really wanted to show, and she had to just go through and I guess do some soul searching and whatnot. But, the people that we saw Kenya rocking with and her family, we don't see them anymore. And lo and behold, we didn't know Grandpa, Kenya Daddy, just end up seeing Brooklyn for the very first time. And I think, well, Brooklyn is 3 or 4 years old now. Like, Kenya, what the hell are you doing with your family? Do you have any, honey? Or you done alienated them? Tell us which one is which.
I set out to go, oh, I'm going to go over here and flirt with this person. Like, it was just crazy stuff happening, bombs going off everywhere.
And there's also real issues you have now, even wanting to have a second child.
Yeah, it's a real issue for me because...
Now, Kenya, it ain't no damn issue for you. It's not. Only way we see is bombs over Baghdad that we want to rain down on you personally is when you're going to start that shit about you want to have another baby with Maul. Girl, no. And I could keep going on and on and on and on. Because even Candy was like, girl, you done lost your damn mind. The whole storyline we done had from you for 3 or 4 years right about now is what Mark won't do, what Mark ain't going to do, what Mark trying to hold up, what Mark trying to take from you. This, that, and the third. You talking about having another baby by him? Girl, you need to have your head examined. And maybe you need to sit out a couple of seasons. Then you might come to... you might come back to the light. Because, girl, we can bury you and think nothing else of you. Especially if you want to bring that shit on about you want to have a baby by Maud. So Brooklyn can have the same father dynamics. We don't want to hear it. We don't want it. Okay? We don't want you if you're going down that path. Okay? If you're going down that path to make it a storyline, we don't want it. We don't want you. We don't want Brooklyn. We don't want Kenya Moore Health Care products. We don't want to see you no more. You will be dead to us if you want to go and sit up there and have another feature brought to us by you and Ma. Hell no. Because we done told you get rid of him by any means necessary that's legal, okay? We done told you give him half the house, give him half your bank account. Just get him the hell away from you because we tired of it, Kenya. We tired over your idea of Chanel's 40s world as well as make it make sense, okay? With the C being sense, not the S, okay? Moving on.
here I am at this big age, and it's like, if I had to have IVF and I have enormous fibroids, I actually lost consciousness. I was telling you this story when I had my daughter, and
That's so scary, by the way.
it's so scary. It was so scary, and every time I went to the hospital, I didn't know if they were going to tell me she's gone. Every time, literally, at least 8 times. I would go to the hospital for an emergency.
Yeah.
And it's stuff that they didn't cover on the show because they weren't there, for my pregnancy that year. So if they were there, you would see the anguish and the pain. And as a mom, wanting that my whole life and just not knowing if that was ever going to happen. And then you can't even be happy because you don't know at any moment they're going to say, she didn't make it.
Right.
And so that was a struggle in and of itself. So to get to here, and she's thriving, and she's
so beautiful.
Thank you.
Honestly, she is amazing. Seeing y'all twirling together and everything. She's such
special.
a cutie pie.
Thank you.
So cute.
But her heart is the most beautiful heart I've ever seen. She's so compassionate. She cares about everybody, their feelings. Like, she's just amazing.
Is she going to be able to still stay on the show? Because I know there were some discrepancies.
Yes.
So
I'm fighting that now. Okay. My ex-husband is fighting me in court, and we could have been divorced by now. But when you sue someone for divorce, the custody of a child, a minor, comes into play. Mm-hmm. So we were very close. And then the last mediation, he wants to challenge my right to have the final say on her filming because he's now on a reality show.
Oh.
He's on a reality show?
Mm-hmm.
What show?
I don't know. He's filming a reality show.
I was like, wait, I haven't seen this show.
He's filming.
Is it an ensemble? Is it just him?
He won't tell me a lot about it.
Does he want her on the show?
Yes. And so now that's what's causing the divorce proceeding to move forward, because I'm like, that's what I sued you for custody for, is because you were trying to keep
her off
of
TV.
Real Housewives.
Yeah.
Now you want to be on a show now all of a sudden, and you need my permission for her to be on that show because I have final say.
Right.
And it's like, it's just so much BS.
You have created a monster. He wants to be on TV now.
Yeah, but everyone told me that.
I remember
before.
when he was just at SoCo.
I don't want to be
the owner. I used to go there.
It was like, I'll hit his restaurant before. I was like, okay.
I brought you there before you had the wings.
I did.
Yeah.
The mac and cheese.
Yeah, the mac and cheese is very good. Yeah, it's good. The food is good.
She's not going to hate on the food.
Yeah, I'm not going to hate on the food. Listen.
And what about when it comes to, because now you have somebody new that you're dating. Now, this has also been some type of drama on the show too, right? Just because he went on a date with Marlo.
He didn't. Let me explain that. It was not a date, girl. That was a meet and greet.
Not a meet and greet.
They met before that. So some of this stuff, we have our reunion on Thursday. Okay. So some of this stuff is going to come out, clarified. But that wasn't when they met. They met in his restaurant through a friend that was there at the restaurant. But it wasn't a date to him. It was like they met at the restaurant. It was like a Chipotle.
Okay.
And it was a Mexican fast food place.
Okay.
Down the street, and they both drove there, met there, had some fast food. Is that a date to you? Like, if that's your standard,
but Kenya, would you if it wasn't?
I don't even care.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was so long ago, and it didn't lead to anything. There was no. So it's like, what do I care? I mean, but it was.
But people were comparing that situation to you bringing up Martell and the DM.
I never said she shouldn't bring it up, but I think her mischaracterization of it wasn't a date. It wasn't a date. Like, if that was a date, honey, your standards are really super low. You know what I mean? If somebody's taking me to Chipotle or Taco Bell, that's not a date.
So what's the difference between trying to warn somebody and quote unquote hating on a situation? Because I think that's what comes into play, right? Some people will be like, because in your head, you're just giving Sheree a warning about Martell. It's just I'm just letting you know, girl.
Because she's my actual friend.
And some people looked at it like, why are you trying to hate? So I'm not trying
to hate. I told it, but what you didn't see is me saying, I'm happy for you. It was no big deal, but I wanted it to come out of my mouth because of my experience on the show. Y'all know what I've been through with men and people accusing me of this and accusing me of that. I'm like, nope, you're going to hear it from me. and this is what happened, and that's all it was.
Okay.
And so they are the ones, and I pulled her to the side. I didn't have an audience. It was no big deal. And I even said, I'm happy for you. If you're happy, Sheree, I'm happy for Sheree, because I really like Sheree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I love. So if you find it in him, I wasn't a fan of his.
Yeah. How do you feel now about them too? Are you
As time progresses,
have you gotten better? Not better, but have you been more open to them?
I was open from the beginning. I was never not open.
Okay.
She was just giving her a little,
I was
just so
just
you
telling
know.
her.
Where are you now?
Let me explain. There was a DM, there was a situation, but nothing came of it. And as a friend, you need to hear from me, because if someone else said it,
Yeah.
then it's like,